Good morning. Thank you to our residents, our guests, elected officials, and city staff for joining us at the 2023 State of the City Address. I hope all of you had a very happy holiday season with your friends and family. And from my family to yours, I wish you a wonderful 2023. So, thank you to our newly elected state representative from 103, Dave Hemmond, for years of service to the city of O'Fallon. Not only were his years as a city council member valuable to everyone, but he's a true friend to many in our great city, including me. I'd also like to introduce a few members of our wonderful city leadership team. Our city administrator, Mr. Mike Snowden, our assistant city administrator, Lenore Tozer-Aldez, and our deputy city administrator, Tom Drabell. I'd also like to take a moment to recognize Superintendent of the Fort Zumwalt School District, Dr. Bernie DeBray. As most of you know, Dr. DeBray is retiring after this school year. He has been a superintendent of the Fort Zumwalt School District since 1985. And on behalf of everyone at the City of O'Fallon, we thank you for all you have given to this community. You have played a large role in forming the city into what it is today, and we are truly grateful. Dr. DeBray has been a leader in the education of many who are in leadership roles today, not only with the school district, but for the City of O'Fallon. And congratulations, and I wish you the best in your retirement. Furthermore, I want to recognize the teachers, administrators, teachers, and school board members who continue to work hard to educate and shape our next generation of leaders. To everyone from Fort Zumwalt, Francis Howell, the Wentzville schools, and those who work in our many private schools across our city, thank you. We're extremely fortunate to have an outstanding police department here in the great city of O'Fallon who stands ready to serve our community, no matter what the call may be. Our O'Fallon Police Department strives not only to be efficient in their duties, but they do so with the utmost professionalism and continue to engage in a true community policing model that enhances our community. I want to personally thank our Chief of Police, Frank Manini, our command staff, for their efforts in leading our wonderful police department. Thank you to their partners in the public service, our wonderful St. Charles County Ambulance District, and to the fire districts that serve the City of O'Fallon, Lake St. Louis, Cotterville, the Central County, and the Wentzville and the O'Fallon Fire Protection Districts. Just this year, our city was listed as Missouri's best places to start a business. And once again, we're ranked #1 on the most livable small cities in the U.S. Our city employees deserve credit for all they have done over the past couple of years. Because of their efforts, our city continues to be recognized locally and nationally. As you just heard, I'm proud of our city's leadership team, and this leadership comes in all forms, from first-year employees to 30-year employees, from our citizens volunteers to our professional administrative staff. It takes great leadership day in and day out. Last year and the year before, I stood here and talked about the adversity we faced because of the global pandemic. During that time, we gained strength in each other as a city by working through unprecedented times. This year is no different. Instead of shutdowns and uncertainty, in 2022, O'Fallon came together to face another unprecedented event, flooding. In July, O'Fallon residents woke up to historic flooding in many parts of our community. Not only were roads flooded, but entire homes had to be evacuated, and some were no longer livable. This was just not a moment in which our city leadership stepped up, but our fellow neighbors. Neighbors coming out of their homes to assist people they've never known before. Donations came across our community to assist those who lost so much. For weeks, we witnessed just how strong and compassionate this community is. O'Fallon helping O'Fallon, exactly the way it's supposed to be. Our city staff worked tirelessly to find ways to overcome this historic devastation. 2 days after the rainfall, your O'Fallon City Council approved 2 ordinances allowing for well-being of animals affected by the flooding and for policies and fees to be waived or lowered in relief of this event. Our environmental services team provided no-cost dumpsters and curbside pickup. The police department provided 24-hour presence to deter looters and assist traffic control. The Renaud Center staff arranged for free hot showers to anyone who needed them. Our economic development staff worked with local hotels to get reduced rates for residents in need. And our public works and engineering departments worked together to conduct inspections and issue permits for residents needing repairs. In the weeks following, both the state and federal emergency management agencies were here in O'Fallon, working with residents and city staff in an effort to alleviate as much hardship as possible. And I'm happy to report that we had the ability to open our doors to both FEMA and the Small Business Administration, as they called City Hall home, for many weeks so that residents could meet with them as they gained financial assistance. These are examples of the leadership that I'm both proud of and what we have come to expect here in the great city of O'Fallon. As we begin 2023, our city is positioned for success. The past several years have been challenged for all of us, but here in O'Fallon, we not only persevered, we thrived. My wife Debbie and I have been truly blessed to call O'Fallon home, raise our children. It is an honor to serve as your mayor. This year, once again, I'm able to report that the state of the city is doing great. O'Fallon is coming off one of our most successful years with strong tax revenues, a growing business environment, and growth in residential housing. All across O'Fallon, we are seeing tremendous economic expansion, and as a city, we are making significant investments to ensure that momentum continues. Just like years before, we've welcomed more businesses and neighborhoods, both large and small. O'Fallon continues to be a place to call home. Whether you're young or old, single or married, working or retired. This past year, we welcomed 15 new neighborhoods who are now under construction. As we move forward in 2023, we will continue to invest in our infrastructure to ensure O'Fallon can continue to grow in future years. This past year, our engineering staff invested nearly $4 million in concrete repairs to our roadways. In addition to the concrete maintenance, we improved the asphalt roads and parking lots, and nearly $1 million investment. Two of these improvements included Winghaven Boulevard and Mexico Road, which included a pedestrian bridge along Mexico Road near Highway K. Many of these continued improvements are made possible by the passing of the use tax in 2020. We told you, the voters, that if this proposition was passed, it would go to public safety and road improvements. And ever since you approved it, our staff and city council has been committed and focused on making that possible. Just this past year, the police department has issued the funding to bring drone technology to their public safety toolbox. And they have added additional flock cameras around the city that are increasing their ability to catch and deter thieves victimizing our neighborhoods, and they are currently looking at new dispatch technologies that will keep up with the ever-changing times to ensure that our residents are served as best they can be. Our engineering department and streets division are hard at work at keeping our streets repaired. Since the use tax was implemented and extra funding became available, they repaired 68 extra street segments, which included more than 2,700 concrete slabs. These additional repairs are due to the funding that our voters approved in 2020, and additionally, they are planning for an additional $2 million in repairs in 2023 made available by the use tax. This could not have been accomplished without your continued support, and myself and the council thanks you. On our south side, the new Caledonia Parkway is not only bringing residential growth, including exciting new commercial growth, including fun family entertainment, will not only bring smiles to O'Fallon faces, but will attract others to our wonderful community. Protecting your safety continues to be one of our top priorities, and we are investing in our police department to ensure that O'Fallon remains, and I repeat, remains one of the country's safest cities. And in 2022, the O'Fallon Police Department began the process to achieve its CALIA certification. Like they did in 2020 when they received the Missouri Police Chiefs accreditation, they are now working to obtain this internationally accredited program that will ensure our police department is continuing on the cutting edge of technology and best practices. The police department has continued its community police program by adding additional officers and assigning them to the Community Service Division. These officers are focused on working with our local HOAs and addressing any issues that may arise in our wonderful neighborhoods. And you may see these officers stepping out of their patrol cars and patrolling your neighborhoods on golf carts or bicycles. Not only did our public works staff continue their commitment to replace water mains, but they did also without contracting the work to an outside company. This past summer, a project began to replace water pipes that run under the outside lane of Main Street from Tom Ginevra to Ashford Place, which replaced 2,320 feet of 12-inch pipe, 14 valves, and 2 fire hydrants, while connecting 40 service lines. When the pipe was worked, they poured almost 900 cubic yards of concrete to replace the pavement. This was done at a reduced cost, saving our taxpayers the burden of outsourcing such a large project. Each year, our residents tell us that our parks are one of the best assets and one of the best things about living in our city. Our Parks and Rec staff work hand in hand with our tourism and festivals team to provide the area's best variety of festivals and events. These events have always been successful, but this past year was truly unbelievable. We experienced some of the highest turnouts for popular events, such as the Heritage and Freedom Fest, our summer concert series Jammin', and continued festivals at our area parks. Like we have for more than 30 years, the Celebration of Lights event was enjoyed by both residents and visitors, young and old. This year, the event raised thousands of dollars for local nonprofits and drew nearly 10,000 vehicles to Fort Zumwalt Park and 10,000 walkers on the annual stroll night. In 2022, we introduced many great events. All of our great events are back this year. We'll also be announcing several new events in the coming months. But I'm excited to announce today our Heritage and Freedom Fest will once again feature some great music. So please join me this year at Heritage and Freedom Fest as we sing along to the country music of Chris Lane. And hold on loosely, we rock out to the classic hits of 38 Special. Putting on these kinds of events takes planning, hard work, and lots of volunteers. Whether it's a small event like a blood drive or the huge festival like Heritage and Freedom Fest or Celebration of Lights, we simply could not do it without our dedicated volunteers. On behalf of your city council, thank you for all you do. You are truly an asset to this great city. We're always looking for new volunteers, so if you want to help, just reach out to our volunteer services team. No matter what your interest, we have a great opportunity for you here in the great city of O'Fallon. O'Fallon's veterans are true heart of our community, and I'm so proud that our city continues to be recognized as one of the best places for our veterans to call home. And this year, we're proud to develop O'Fallon's newest program, Honor Our Heroes. On Veterans Day, we unveiled the Heroes Way program. Heroes Way is a 7.8-mile route through O'Fallon that passes city landmarks such as Veterans Memorial Walk and City Hall. This route is affectionately known as the Path of Heroes. O'Fallon's Path of Heroes honors residents who have made the ultimate sacrifice in service to our great country. Along the Path of Heroes, memorial signs are placed that list the name and rank of those who have fallen. I want to thank Councilmember Tom Harwick, who made the Heroes Way program happen. City staff and leadership spent months taking this idea and transforming it into reality. Our staff, as I said, is truly second to none. And in today's environment, keeping quality employees at all levels is a significant challenge. That's why in 2022, our human resources team conducted a comprehensive salary study to ensure that our employees are compensated fairly and competitively. We all know how hard it is to get quality employees, and we are committed to making sure you have great people working in this great city. Not only do we have a great team in O'Fallon, but we're always looking to expand our departments and fill needed openings. Right now, we're actively looking for wonderful new additions to our recreation staff at the Renaud Center, not only full-time positions, but for part-time seasonal workers to help with our summer camps and for lifeguards to keep everyone safe at our pools. The police department is actively recruiting qualified police officers and dispatchers. These jobs are not always easy, but they come with a great reward. The reward is knowing that you helped your neighbor and having a community that always is supportive of your efforts. If you're looking for a place to call home, then I encourage you to apply with the City of O'Fallon. You could find a home in places like the Streets Division, Public Works Department, Parks, and many more. Having some employees that have been here for more than 30 years is a sign that we are doing something right. We work hard to provide our residents, businesses, and visitors with the highest level of service. It takes a lot to do that, and we depend on the businesses who drive our city's economy when you spend your hard-earned money at our local businesses. The sales tax dollars these places generate are what fund most everything that we do. That's why we're so grateful to all of you for being committed to keeping your sales tax dollars here in the great city of O'Fallon. I'd like to thank our finance department for monitoring this year's tax forecast. As many have seen with their personal property taxes, assessments for the vehicles we own have gone up. Our fiscally conservative finance department monitored this trend in 2022 and lowered the O'Fallon tax levy to mitigate the burden our taxpayers will face. By doing so, we will be able to keep the same services to our residents with a lower financial burden in 2023. Bringing in new business is great, but we also need to make sure our existing business continue to thrive. Our economic development team is working with several of our businesses who have seen tremendous growth and are looking to expand and hire more people. A new collaborative effort on the north side is the community banners along Main Street. In 2022, local businesses were given the opportunity to purchase a banner that will both feature a city design of their own company logo, and these wonderful additions to the Main Street poles will be scheduled to be installed in the coming weeks. Bringing a new development to O'Fallon requires strategy and strategic planning. Our planning and development team completed the city's comprehensive plan, which provides a framework for future and gives our city council a guidebook to ensure that our growth is sustainable and intelligent. This plan won the American Planning Association's award in 2022, and I congratulate their team because they worked hard for months and involved a subcommittee that included 2 of our planning commissioners. The commission was very involved in the creation and ultimate implementation of this living document used today. The award is a reflection of our dedicated volunteers. It really is an amazing time here in the great city of O'Fallon, and I'm grateful to each and every one of you for all you have done and continue to do to make our city great, but I also know that there are residents who are in need of assistance. If you're one of these residents, please know that we're here to help. Our Public Assistance Office has numerous programs to help our low-income residents, seniors, and anyone who is negatively impacted by COVID-19. If you need help, please reach out to them. This year, we are excited to award $385,000 in nonprofit resiliency grants to local nonprofit organizations that will benefit our own O'Fallon residents and programs. As we enter 2023, we know there are continued challenges that O'Fallon must make. Like every city in this state, we face rising costs, supply chain issues, labor shortages, and plateauing revenues. But I'm optimistic and happy to report that O'Fallon is well positioned for the future. With more than 90,000 residents, 1,800 businesses, and hundreds of thousands of visitors who shop, dine, and stay in our community, we have everything we need to continue to see O'Fallon thrive for years to come. Together, we have built an amazing city to call home. I am proud to be a part of it. Thank you for all you do to make it possible. O'Fallon truly is a great place to live, work, and play. And on behalf of my family and all of us here at the City of O'Fallon, our staff, our City Council, thank you for making O'Fallon what it is today and for helping us build an even better future. In a moment, you will see our 2022 year in review video produced by our wonderful communications department. I hope you enjoy seeing all the great things happening in our great city. Thank you. God bless you, your families, the great city of O'Fallon, the state of Missouri, and these United States.
2022 was a challenging year for the City of O'Fallon, and once again we exceeded expectations. Everyone on staff put forth their finest effort to provide the services our residents expect. Here are just a few examples of how we continue to prove our staff is among the best. Our High Five program, which recognizes exceptional employee contributions, continued in 2022. Singled out for recognition were Capital Improvements Manager Chris Clerks, Environmental Services Employee Jorge Pinto Ferreira, and IT Business Analyst Prabha Sabramurthy. In an attempt to reduce uncertainty during public municipal meetings, staff produced a standardized public hearing procedure, which uses consistent forms and processes so residents can know what to expect. Our parks have been busy maintaining and upgrading. Sports Park greatly improved the playability of its fields as well as the usability of the sidewalks and parking lots. Also, added pickleball and basketball courts made the park more versatile for our residents. After a couple years' wait, a favorite activity in Fort Zumwalt Park is back online. Lake Wetzel is now open for fishing, boasting a fully established stock of fish. A new event debuted in 2022 that instantly led the pack. Whiskers and Wags opened at Civic Park in May and brought a plethora of pets and their humans for a wildly successful day in the sun. Another well-attended Heritage and Freedom Fest marked the midpoint of 2022. Along with an exceptional menu of activities and a lively parade, the top-notch musical acts once again brought in a fantastic crowd. Volunteer Services had another banner year. 57 city events were supported using over 2,600 volunteer hours, a 57% increase over 2021. They also increased citizen engagement by 31%. New funding streams means more new programs for public assistance. Home repair funds were exhausted in just a few months, helping to keep residents out of code violations. And home ARP funding was introduced to help combat homelessness. The strength of our municipal court staff has been noticed as they have taken on the operations of Weldon Spring and Lake St. Louis to assist them in the coming year. The pace of construction continues to progress as we're on track to issue over 5,200 building permits this year, along with over 11,000 permit inspections. The Streets Division has kept up the pace of repair to our most expensive city asset. Over 700 lane miles of streets have been maintained to the tune of over 2,200 calls for service. The city revealed a new attraction this Veterans Day. The Path of Heroes remembers fallen O'Fallon military veterans. The first 3 honorees were announced at the Veterans Memorial Walk. To help with the cost of repairs for our residents, the Water Division instituted the Water Service Line Insurance Program, assisting with repairs from the house back to the water meter. One of the largest projects in the city, the wastewater biological nutrient removal tank, is now being put into service. A 2-year, $25 million project designed to bring the city up to the Department of Natural Resources standards for discharge. Our police department has undergone various changes. The addition of the position of Parks Police Officer has made a particular impact on the community. The establishment of a police drone program has enhanced the investigative capabilities of the department. Another new program brought 2 recruit officers on board, providing real-world experience to prospective officers. And in their most impactful accomplishment, a 20-year-old serial killer cold case was closed. We couldn't possibly mention all the great accomplishments from the past year, but as you can see, thanks to our employees' continued efforts, the city continues to shine and move toward the future.